So it's not like I'm actually on like a real high kick of a diet. I just want to try doing better. And today's challenge isn't really for me. It's more or less for you guys at home to try to find something that's actually good, worthwhile, and doesn't break the bank for a snack. And that can be hard at Disney because Disney, it's not cheap. So annual passes, we spend $344 a month for our annual pass privilege. That's a lot of money. Then again, and I know this is going to seem a little offensive to a lot of people, but Disney really never was for the common person. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, because you just have to hear me out when I explain this. Okay, so hear me out, okay? So back in 1955, when Disneyland, not Disney World, first opened under the direction of Walt Disney and the investors back then, the price to get in was $1, okay? And that was per person. And keep in mind also, for the attractions, you had to pay on a scale. And that started at the very top with e-ticket attractions, and they were 85 cents. Hey, Ryan, like seriously, what the heck? That's not a lot of money. $1 to get in, 85 cents for a ride. Come on, we're spending a lot more than that now. Exactly. But keep this in mind. Minimum wage in 1955, and I looked this up, was $1 per hour. Okay? $1 per hour. And if you worked 40 hours in a work week, okay? If you worked less than that, it was even worse. Okay? Now keep in mind, your rent back then, on average, in California was $118 a month. So you were roughly bringing in about $160 a month on average, minus your $118 for your rent. And of course, if you had a car payment, then it made it worse. Keep in mind though, it did include utilities too, but still, that leaves not a lot of spare money. And then you got your food costs and stuff like that. So really, Disney really wasn't for the common person back when it first opened. Now, however, later on in, I want to say 2014, 2015 maybe, I want to say it was, Disney introduced in Florida for the annual pass holders a monthly program, which was amazing, even though SeaWorld had already been doing it for years and years, like since the early 2000s, they had a plan for that. So, with that being said, keep this in mind, that now a family that needed $4,000, $3,000 to come up with at one time could go ahead and delegate that out monthly at a 0% interest rate, which was amazing. And that is what helped bring in so many of the crowd. Turned out to be a really good idea. Granted, it is a lot busier, but people like me that don't have $4,000 up front for a family could afford to go to Disney a little bit easier on a monthly scale. Granted, if you're still making $15 an hour, it is still a little on the unaffordable side. Because then once you get in, you got food, you got everything else, and now you have Lightning Lane and Genie Plus. So that also contributes too. So the notion, and I see this every single time, that Walt Disney wanted to make Disney affordable for everybody. That is not true. And if you actually look at photos on opening day, people were not dressed in rags. They weren't dressed in bad clothing. They were dressed in top-notch clothing to the point where their shoes melted to the actual sidewalk. How crazy is that? So yes, Disney, while amazing of what it is, was, at the original time, not intended for a lot of families. it was more intended as like a vacation perk, or even for something that a family could do, that instead of going to the vacation club, that kind of stuff, or the golf club back then. That is kind of what Disney was going for back then. Now, I know some of you may disagree, and you'll try to point it out, and if you do, I hope that you do, and that we can have a peaceful discussion about it. Because really, at the end of the day, me, you, we're family, and while I love each and every one of you, families do disagree, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, we're still family. So let's keep going. Let's try to find that snack. And that's why I'm trying to find a $10 and under snack, 15 and under snack, just to try to find something that's healthy, good, and doesn't break that bank. All right, guys, let's get going. It's funny because when they got rid of the fountain, I thought I was gonna miss it a lot more than what I do. Well, I do miss the fountain that was here before behind me. I don't know, progress, it's needed sometimes. And Epcot needed the progress. And Animal Kingdom needs the progress too. It needs more. And that's what it's getting finally. And I'm excited for all that's coming. I hope that they don't shortcut it. And I hope that it's amazing. Yes. It's funny, just reflecting on how much Disney has evolved over here in all the time that we've been here, since 2014, 2015. It has been remarkable. And honestly, I want to say this, okay? I thank each and every one of you at home for giving me the privilege of being able to come to this amazing place with my family. I genuinely do, because of your viewership. It gives us the ad revenue that helps pay for the monthly ticket. And you don't even have to buy the merch. You don't have to buy all the stuff or the super things. It's just, I'm just glad that you enjoy the videos. And I like that you guys are enjoying Friday Night Game Night. Which reminds me, if you want to see a particular game, let me know for Friday Night Game Night. And me and Lil will try to find it, and we'll get it, and we'll do it. Let's keep going, all right? Thank you again so much. I genuinely appreciate you guys at home, really. And I love all that we can do for you too.
For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving. And supervise your children. Thank you.
Para su seguridad, favor de permanecer sentados con las puertas cerradas, manteniendo sus manos, brazos, pies y piernas adentro mientras el tranvía esté en movimiento. Y vigilen a sus niños. Gracias.